questioning. Here is the Open Thinking Dude podcast, broadcasting on Spreaker and iHeartRadio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bit of It Show.
Well, what a day it is today on September 29th, 2014, and it's in the afternoon in the Netherlands. Sometimes it's in other places it's the morning, night, and evening. This is the Open Thinking Dude podcast, and I'm your host, Matt Mosteller. Sorry for that momentary lapse. I gonna have to change this title. It was going to be Aroostook Watchmen live via talkshoe, but now we're just going to do a impromptu podcast. I want to do something about the power of emotion. I did the Power of Emotion podcast a week or two ago, and I wrote a mini article today on my blog. It's the openthinkdude.blogspot.nl, and it's called Open Thinking News. It's news and opinions on religion and philosophy. And this is my mini commentary, general commentary on power of emotion. It says the power of emotion. What does it do to people? It holds a lot of power over a person and their belief system when the facts are available for any person to seek. People are still held by their emotional conditioning to deny these facts. Religion and politics have this very strong effect over the human emotion. It makes something real when in reality that belief does not exist. That does not mean emotion is not important, but what it does mean, it's not a good source to measure truth. Religious, political, and etc. leaders use marketing techniques to grasp the emotion to move their own agendas into action. People are lacking inquiry to these types of groups. They are making the credulous sheep giving up their substance of hard work for some sparkly fairy dust. Wake up, people. The brainwashing has crept in through esoteric history into political and social institutions and the media. Please do not accept any propaganda, dogma, without researching it for yourself. Due to the lack of critical thinking, our society has has faltered to a slave state and a lacks autonomy. End. So that's just my little general analysis on the power of emotion. I just did it in like a mini article on my blog site, and yeah. So if you want to hear a little more in depth or equal to what I just read, go back to the Power of Emotion podcast. And I think I was talking about the power of emotion because I'm not really believing. I believe there might be a higher power, but I still attend church. I know I'm bad. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but I still attend. But sometimes, and I did a rap song because I do rap, and I did a freestyle flow, and it just came out about Jesus, you know. And that power of emotion got me hooked again, just like that. I mean, emotion is powerful, and it is good to have. But when it comes to study what's true or not, it is like a landmine that stops you to your destiny of understanding the truth. So that power of emotion hit me when I started rapping lyrics that I don't know if I really believe in. Not disrespecting to those who do, but just like that. So I just want to do a little mini podcast on that, and I'm still moving on now to the next segment of the show or this podcast, whatever you call it. I want to talk about, let's see here. I thought I had it set up, but my computer screen wasn't. When I get back to the next segment, I wanted to look at electronic privacy information. It's talking about they're going to start hopefully banning, not banning, hold on, let me look at this. See, stupid me, man. Anyways, I'm just kidding. The latest news, this is from epic.org, which is the Electronic Privacy Information Center. And when I get back, to the podcast after a break. The article is about appeals court limits military surveillance on civilian internet use. So that's going to be cool. So I'll talk about that when I get back. Until then, this is the Open Thinking Dude podcast on Spreaker and iHeart. We'll be back. I'll be back, sorry.
Dancing on my words on the edge of sombrero. The gringo, sick flows, yes, the cockatoid. Kill Agnes with a glance from the pupil of annoyed. My mic stored in underwear drawers of my dresser. Rhymes from True God, yours is child of a lesser. A lowercase G hanging under the bar. My G's above and beyond and shining bright from afar like North Star. Guided me to Gibson, the Ranger, Dr. Stranger. Like Blase Blah, bringing danger. Infernal, subharmonico sick. Stand tall, surfing ink from Vic. Push the click, now I'm running. Leading down the L-pen shaft. And spin a phonograph to exercise a paragraph. Epitaph from killing off the flesh for 808. A low frequency to give you something to hate. We tie words uptight with lasso. With art from the soul, Pablo Picasso. And paintbrushing my discussion when we touching time sublime with Pablo. We tie words uptight with lasso. With art from the soul, Pablo Picasso. And paintbrushing my discussion when we touching Russian. It's like that though.
I ride upon the trail, my heart's pumping oxygen. Like Indians and moccasins, I've been cheated and crossed. Tossed aside, my tribe's trying to survive. Yet the government's rise never came. So I strain and break dance with wolves till the presence action changed. Who shot the sheriff? I'm embarrassed by this trickery. So some come aboard the bandwagon of hickory. My lazy eye gives that warning. Watch your step. My six shooters mark with an immense love for death. A true desperado, my model's prostate and floss. If you step in the wooden box in the dust. The earth's crossed, my happy hunting ground wild bill couldn't tame. You can gun down and brought the fortune and fame. Spit out like tobacco, the haters both the born as evil. Taking scalps and wolves back till I change.
And I'm back on the Open Thinking Dude podcast. And we're getting in, it's a habit of saying we. So I have to work on that. I'm talking about now in this segment about appeals court limits military surveillance of civilian internet use. This is from epic.org, and it's talking about how the appeals court is going to say, hey, enough's enough, this is your limit. But you know how our own military surveils us, especially, like, for example, myself, being American, I'm surveilled a lot, actually, because I am a targeted individual, and I do have a little, another podcast just for Target News. But even if you're not, if you're American and you're outside of the country, they tap your phone. Because when I talk to friends and family, I always hear a click. So they're listening. So keep on listening if you want. Because you're insecure. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, the article goes on to say this latest news here in epic.org. It says the U.S. Court of Appeals of the Ninth Circuit ruled in the United States versus Dreyer that an agent for the Naval Criminal Investigative Service violated the Defense Department regulations and Posse Act when he conducted a surveillance operation in Washington State to identify civilians who might be sharing illegal files. The 1878 Act prevents the U.S. military from enforcing laws against civilians. The appeals court ruled that the NCIS intrusion into civilian networks showed a profound lack of regard for the important limitations on the role of the military in our civilian society. The court also ruled that the evidence obtained by NCIS should be suppressed to deter future violations. In a petition to the Supreme Court, Epic challenged the NSA's surveillance of domestic communications. The NSA is a component of the Department of Defense. So, and if we want to go more, if anybody wants to go more detail, you can see in RE Epic and Epic versus DOJ warrantless wiretapping program. Of course, that's been going on for years and years, even before the web was introduced officially. So, I mean, yeah, there's no privacy. I mean, these people, they have, I'm not trying to be mean, but they have no security of themselves. I mean, they really want us to, they don't have a life. They want to listen to us. They don't have any tranquility. We need tranquility. We need peace. We need to seek and question where we can find it. Don't take anybody's propaganda, not mine or not. Just do your research. This is what's going on. I mean, even the appeals court said enough's enough. People are using the military, are using their own power. I mean, some of these people want to have a military state. I mean, everything's militarized. That's why they had distinctions between civilians, the civilian society, and the military. Only intervene in a natural act or a real true act of war, or maybe on civilian society. But that's not happening. It's created false wars, and the people, some military, not all, are wanting to put their prongs in. They want to create the slave state. That's what it is. I mean, if you want to go down to the simple basics, infiltration to the military and political level has been going on for hundreds of years to get to this state now, to put in their final plan to control and have a state of slavery. Not true freedom, not true libertarianism, and not true even conservatism, even liberalism. Really, they're using that liberalism synamics or wording or concept to hide their main agenda, which is control and have a communist dictatorship. And when I mean communist, I'm talking about authoritarian. I'm talking about making Stalin look like he was a hero compared to what they're going to do in the next years to come. I mean, that's possible. So, I mean, people are spying on other people. I mean, and if you're successful and you believe in freedom and democracy and not Republican, but like a republic or something, or people have a right to their own freedom to live, you looked at as crazy. If you think outside the box and are unconventional, they think you're crazy. So that was just my little rant and rave, and that was the article about mini article about the how the appeals court told the military intelligence, stop what you're doing. You're doing too much. You're going outside the law. So that is what's happening, and it's kind of scary, you know. But if we hold on and have peace and follow and do what's right, that's okay. Because you know what? People that are helping the military, the rogue, I'm not saying the military in general, but the rogue politicians, the rogue civilian cops in all these countries, what they're doing is eventually they're going to be, once they're done, used. But they don't have the common sense. They're blind to see. We're at one time, all of us are blind. We need to open our eyes and see the evolution that's coming. It's not evolution of progression, but it's of enslavement and digression. So that's what's going to happen. And with that, please think for yourself and do have some kind of faith sometimes. There is something, I believe, maybe, and we'll talk more about that in the religious aspect of podcasting on my religious show, or the aspect of podcasting religiously, I don't know, blah, 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 or spiritually, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry about that. Just got to throw in that quick rant. But anyways, with that, man, and girls, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Always think for yourself. And with that, this is the Open Think and Do podcast here on Spreaker. Have a good one.